So, if you're in the nonprofit world, you know that relationships are absolutely everything. But how do you actually measure a relationship, right? How do you know who truly gets your mission versus who, just dropped a one-time donation and moved on? Well, we're about to dive into a really cool tool that turns all that mystery into a clear, actionable strategy. It's called the Donor Engagement Score.
Just think about it for a second. Look at your own donor list. Can you honestly say right now who's deeply engaged with you, who's just kind of a name on a list, and maybe most importantly, who might be about to drift away? It's a huge challenge, and getting it right can change absolutely everything.
For way too long, this whole process has felt like a messy mix of guesswork and just gut feelings. And hey, intuition is important, but when you rely on it alone, it's almost impossible to really understand why some people connect so deeply with what you're doing while others just don't.
And that brings us to what I like to call the engagement blind spot. It's that gap, the one between just counting up dollars and truly understanding the human behaviors that show real commitment. Just looking at the total amount donated, that doesn't even begin to tell the whole story.
This right here is the perfect example. So you've got donor A, a really generous one-time gift for sure, but then radio silence for 2 years. Now look at donor B. They're giving smaller amounts, but consistently, every single month. They show up to your events. They open every email. So who is more valuable to your mission in the long run? It's obvious, right? But your traditional fundraising reports focused only on those big dollar signs would completely miss this.
Okay, so how do we fix this blind spot? Well, we move from just feeling to actual fact. We take this fuzzy idea of connection and we turn it into something we can actually measure, a single, powerful number that captures all those little interactions that really matter. And here it is, the Donor Engagement Score. It's such a simple concept, but the impact is huge. It basically boils down all those different things, donations, volunteering, showing up, into one easy-to-understand score, from 0 to 100.
What this score really does is it takes you from chaos to clarity. All of a sudden, you can ask really specific, really powerful questions. Like, hey, do the people who come to our events end up donating more often? Do the folks who open our newsletter also volunteer? This is the kind of clarity that lets you build outreach that actually connects with people.
So, how does this thing actually work? How is the score calculated? Let's decode it, I promise. It's not some kind of magic. It's a really logical, straightforward system that just looks at the actions that signal real, genuine commitment. So, the score is built on 5 key things to create a whole picture of a person. It looks at donation frequency, that's how often they give. Average amount, that's in there, of course. But it goes way beyond the money. It tracks event attendance, are they actually showing up? It looks at volunteer hours, are they giving you their time? And finally, communication responsiveness. Are they even opening your emails and clicking on your links? Now, what's really interesting here is that not all of these actions are created equal. See that? Donation frequency carries the most weight at 30%. This proves exactly what we saw with donor B, that consistent, reliable support is a massive sign of true engagement. Okay, so you've got the scores. Now for the most important part, turning all that data into action. A number is pretty useless unless you know what to do with it, right? So let's break down the strategy. So if a supporter's score is below 50, we'd call that low engagement. Now this doesn't mean they don't care, it just means there's a fantastic opportunity here to build a much stronger connection with them. A score between 50 and 75, that tells you they have moderate engagement. These are your active supporters. They're involved, they're in the game, but there's still a ton of potential to deepen that relationship and bring them even closer to your mission. And any score over 75, boom, that's high engagement. These are your champions, your rock stars, your most committed and loyal supporters. Honestly, these folks are the backbone of your entire community.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. For that low-scoring group, you can launch a special re-engagement campaign to remind them why they cared in the first place. For that middle group, you can offer new ways to get involved, like a really specific volunteer opportunity. And for your highly engaged supporters, you celebrate them, and then you ask them to take on bigger roles like becoming an ambassador or maybe even a peer fundraiser.
And this is so crucial to understand. This is not just for huge organizations with big data science teams. This whole approach is totally scalable. Whether you're a small local charity or a global nonprofit, you can start today with the data you already have, even if it's all just sitting in a simple spreadsheet.
All right, let's just zoom out for a second and remember why any of this matters. Because this score, it was never just about getting better metrics. It's about strengthening the actual community that fuels your entire mission.
This quote from the source material just says it all, doesn't it? The score is the tool, it's not the goal. The real goal is building a vibrant, passionate community of people who are genuinely fired up about the work you do.
So at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to get a higher score. The real goal is to build stronger, more authentic relationships. This data is the map that allows you to be more strategic, more personal, and ultimately just more human in how you connect with the people who make your work possible.
So we'll leave you with this question. Forget the numbers for a moment and just think about the people. What's one new way, big or small, that you can connect with your supporters this week? That simple act, that's what this is all about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.